Merch Minds podcast episode 115. My name is Glenn, YouTube channel Hustler
115.
Hacks. Yang is here
What's
in the
going
flesh.
on in the
Tell everybody why
flesh?
your lips are red.
Dude, I had some spicy ass food, man. Lips are burning up.
Is this a true story though? Wasn't
It's
anything
a
going
true
on like
story.
Valentine's Day or like I don't know, just wondering.
Pipe down, dude.
Just
Pipe down.
just asking. So how
Pipe
was your
down.
Valentine's Day?
It was quiet, man. Look, we've had this conversation. I think Valentine's is a waste of time. I think it's a waste of money. It's a big money grab. Okay, it's a fake holiday, just like fake news. Okay, it's just it's dumb. Okay, I think it's probably one of the reasons why I'm single now, right? Um, but no, I just no, I think I think if you have a partner, you should show them the love and respect year round, not just on one day that Hallmark tells you to do.
I saw some guy, he was buying like those huge bears, and I'm just like, man, this is a waste of money. I'm like,
Oh
what is
no
this?
way! Is
Yeah,
that in El Paso?
yeah. I saw like different stores. Also, there's people like just set up like on different corners on like main streets of like
Mhm.
huge stuffed animals and all this random stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Nah, I mean, look, I think it's cute and stuff for the kids, right? You take the cards and you exchange them with with your fellow students and stuff. But as an adult, seriously, in my opinion, it's just a big money grab. You should like be seriously. You should be telling your partner every day, year round, I love you. You mean so much to me. Uh, uh, you know, buy them roses whenever you feel like it. Don't just buy them just because freaking Hallmark tells you to.
yeah. I think people, especially like at the workplace, they love to like show off
True.
to
No,
each other, and it's
absolutely.
just like
Yeah,
it's just bad all around.
it is. Yeah. No, it's. But I mean, did you do anything with you and Gigi? Did you guys
Uh,
go anywhere?
No, we were actually kind of getting this assortment thing for FBA ready. We didn't even go anywhere, do anything. But I think this weekend we'll go somewhere to eat or something. I hate
Mhm.
really going that same day. It's always a mess.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
you just don't want to be a part of that. So I'm
dude.
kind
I
of
mean,
glad we didn't do anything.
you go to restaurants and the same meal that you had last week is like 3 4 times the original price, and it's dumb. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, maybe this is why I'm still single. I don't know. Um, but you want to talk numbers?
Yeah, let's talk numbers. So now that Valentine's Day is over, a lot of those shirts we're gonna see die down, of course, until the next holiday. But numbers, and we'll get into the message that was on the homepage, which I think they do kind of work together on that because it has to do with uploads, but in general, I saw like a huge decrease from one day to the next. It just seemed weird. So the last 7 days, 96 products sold and one return.
Hmm.
Estimated royalties $320.05, which really went down a lot. Monday I had like 20 or 30 something sales. Like it was a really good day. And then Wednesday, Thursday in like single digit days, which seemed really weird to me. And then today, let me see where I'm at today. I think it's still pretty low. Let me see, 15th. Today, 5. So I'm like, what is going on? But
Hmm.
that's where I'm at.
Okay. For me, my last 7 days, 89 products sold, 8 returns, product purchases, $1,766.32. Estimated royalties, $356.43. And like you, I've been experiencing the same thing where I had a day, I think maybe late last week when I did really well. And then right after that, there was a couple of days where I did like single digits. It's all over the place for sure. As far as Valentine's designs, I had a handful of them up. I don't think I sold a single one.
Hmm.
So
I did
interesting.
sell some, but at the same time, I know what bumped the numbers up were the couple of good days that I sold the hoodies because of that difference in pricing, right? Like making an extra $10 on one hoodie.
Now, are you still pricing your hoodies $39.99?
Yeah, I have them at
Good.
39.
Yeah.
So that helped, but then also when those days, leave the last 7 days, and it's kind of tough to rebuild off of that. Not only that,
Hmm.
I mean, here in El Paso and Phoenix, things like that, it is getting warmer, but in some places it is still pretty cold. But I think that's also going to come into play. Like once we start hitting closer to like late spring into like summer, we're going to see a lot of hoodies decrease and not seeing them sell as much. So hopefully the fall we can see some spike when hoodies come back up, and now we get that $10 royalty off of that. Who knows?
Yeah, and then also, I do remember Amazon saying that in the new year, at some point, that we will see some new products. We're already in February, so I'm hoping by summertime we'll have something new to offer to our customers. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hope that they're tank tops. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah,
It
that'd
seems
be
like
perfect timing if it was.
yeah, I mean, who knows? It seems like whenever Amazon releases new products, it's always a surprise because they're never what we expected them to be, right? Like when they, like, no, seriously, right? Like when they first released the long sleeves, like no one expected long sleeves. Like everyone thought it was going to be hoodies, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with the pop sockets. So hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed, and by summertime, uh, we'll hopefully get some tank tops. Let's see. I got some good designs coming down to pipeline. I'm still working with the local kid here, and I just recently hired another illustrator. Um, so I got some good stuff that's coming down the pipeline. Uh, but again, it's trying to get the sales. That's the hard part because again, in my opinion, everything's getting lost. Right? There's hundreds of thousands of products in inventory, and everything's getting lost. So it's just me trying to run ads to them now, and I'll keep you guys updated on how that turns out. But I got some really cool designs coming down pipeline. Really, really good.
There we go. So y'all can keep us posted on that. We also had news on the homepage, which was yesterday for
That's
Valentine's
right.
Day. Merch had a message. So in order to ensure all submissions are processed in a timely manner, publishing limits have been temporarily decreased. Your maximum number of daily submissions is displayed on the dashboard and managed pages. It went down, but then today it seemed like it's back to normal. So I guess it's just for one day. That's kind of weird.
You know what? It didn't really affect me anyway, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna be uploading
600, 500,000 in that a day.
600 in a day. Um, and even with the reduction, 300 a day. There's no way I'm gonna do 300 a day. Again, I'm my mindset isn't to try and fill up the slots. My mindset is putting up good quality stuff. Okay, so that doesn't affect me. So it didn't bother me. Let's see. We have a long weekend coming up. Do you have any plans?
No,
Well, hold on. Well, I shouldn't say it's a long weekend for some because President's Day weekend is typically for the universities and the federal. It's more of a federal thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a 3 day weekend at least, and I don't have any plans. The only thing that I'm going to be doing this weekend is going through my books because I have my appointment to get my taxes done next week with my CPA. Um, so yeah, so I'll be spending the whole weekend just going through my books.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to be doing. I'm still missing like people are telling me that like you should have gotten all the like the 1099s. I'm still missing one of them, and it's like really bothering me. And I'm like,
Wait, missing from who?
it's just one of these sneaker things
Oh, okay,
apps
I
I'm
got you.
selling on,
I
and
got
I'm
you.
not getting it yet. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I've contacted them over and over again, sent me a sales report, everything, and I'm like, well, where's this 1099? Like, I can't even do anything else until I get that. So I have everything here. and I'm probably gonna have to be working on that. Like all the make sure all the expenses are right, and it almost kind of like it kind of sucks. This happens every year where it's kind of like you have to put everything else on hold pretty much while you get
Mhm,
all this stuff
mhm.
done. So
Well, I know for a fact that this year, well, not this year, but 2018, I did have a lot more expenses than I had previously. Because
mhm,
remember, I started outsourcing a lot more last year, right?
mhm,
So I think, so my profit margin isn't going to be that high. I know that for a fact, but that's okay because again, my mindset is as long as I put in the investment now, my hope is that it's going to pay off hopefully by the end of this year or maybe even next year, right?
yeah,
That's my mindset. I don't care about the profit margins anymore. I just want to try and build something that I can continue to run long term.
yeah.
So I did know that for a fact. I'm gonna have a crap load of write offs. So again, I'm gonna have to go through my books. Um, but yeah, so taxes are gonna get done. Hopefully, um, I can keep my numbers down though. You never know with taxes, man.
I just don't want to
Um,
have to pay like even more.
we're always gonna end up paying.
I
You
mean,
know.
we always, but I just don't want to add more to it. Like I've been paying throughout the whole year, so I just don't want to add more now at this point and worry
Mm,
about it next year if
yeah.
possible. We'll see.
Someone was asking me about my Etsy store. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't touched my Etsy store. I still get orders, um, which obviously gets processed through Printful. I haven't touched my Etsy store because I've been trying to grow, obviously, my KDP account, which we've been talking about for the past few weeks now. Speaking of KDP, just an update. I have approximately 450 journals live as of today. I think last week I said I was at 350.
Hmm.
So that's a 100, obviously 100 more. So not bad. So yeah, so numbers are getting bigger. Um, the sales for KDP they haven't been coming through. Um, at least not much as I thought thought it would.
Yeah,
But again, I'm not I'm not calling it quits. This is just my update to you guys. So 450 live.
there we go. And speaking of KDP, you want to go into our guest? Oh
Speaking
no,
of
we have news. Or do we
KDP,
have news? You still have more news?
I have no more news.
Oh, okay, okay,
No
go ahead.
more news. But yeah, speaking of KDP, we have the queen herself. Beyonce is here. Um, no, I'm just joking. We have someone better than Beyonce. We have Kelly Publish, our good friend Kelly. You know what? She said I'm her favorite. Um, our good friend Kelly. She's here. She's back. She's going to talk about what she's been up to, how she did this past December. Because remember, when we first talked to her, the previous December, she did 17,000 in
Yeah,
December. So we'll talk to her and get an update from her and see how she did this past December. Um, and you know, it's just always fun to talk to Kelly in general because she's such a nice person.
yeah. And we asked some we asked her some pretty good questions like merch, what is she doing now? And as far as even some little like, KDP things, how to improve a little bit and some strategy stuff there. So overall, good interview. So here it is.
So today we have one of our favorite guests back, Mrs. Mrs. Kelly Roberts, the queen of no content. Journal publishing. She taught me everything that I know, and she taught me everything that Glenn doesn't know because Glenn doesn't do journal publishing.
No.
That's okay.
Kelly, how are you?
I am fantabulous. How are you guys?
Good. It's so good to see you. Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Thank you. Life is
Yeah.
good. I'm feeling good. It's
What's the weather?
Friday.
Yeah, it's
Good.
Friday. Uh huh. What's the weather like out there in Cleveland? Is it Cleveland? No, Columbus.
Columbus.
Yes. I'm sorry.
It was so frustrating today. It was sunny, but it was tricking me. I think it was like 35 outside, but the winds made it awful.
Mm,
So,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
it was pretty windy out here. We've been getting a lot of rain here in California. And what was it, Wednesday night? Oh my gosh, it was crazy out there.
Do you guys get snow at all?
Hardly ever.
Have you gotten snow this year?
No,
Ah,
no. We came pretty close a couple years ago, but that never happened.
gotcha.
You know. So how's it going? So tell us. Look, I know. Look, first of all, this is how crazy and busy that Kelly gets, right? So she messages me. She's like, "Hey, if you guys want me back on the show, we need to do it now because my ass is freaking busy." She's like, pencil my ass. She's like, pencil my ass in now. I'm like, all right, all right, all right. We're gonna have you on in a couple of weeks. What are you doing that you're so busy, Kelly?
I've been looking forward to this day, for a few weeks now. It's been on my calendar, my excitement for the week.
Yeah.
I've been taking a step back, actually, not really being in much Facebook groups, just trying to focus on my business. The
That's a good
Facebook
thing.
groups to me were getting such negative, it was such negativity. And I was like, whoa, this is just working with my mindset. So I've just been trying to focus on uploading, designing, researching, going back to the basics. That's
Going back
pretty
to
much for me. Yeah.
So, let me ask you: Are you? Because look, I've pretty much said from the get go that my strategy has been, I'm just gonna get my merch designs and convert them into journal covers, and I'll just do it that way. I don't think I've ever asked you, is that a good strategy?
It just, in my opinion, it just depends what niches your t-shirts were in. I try not to do flooded niches,
Okay.
because I like money and I like sales. So I think everyone likes that. But is it a bad strategy? I'm not too sure. But with everyone doing line journals right now, you really have to do something to set yourself apart.
Hmm.
I think that's crucial.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's how much journals you're uploading every day, but KDP has been so slow the past few days. And it just, if it takes so long to upload a line journal, you got to also figure out what's your time worth. So,
Okay. So to answer your question, I have been uploading every day. I'm only doing like anywhere between 15 to 20 a day.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Hey, pipe down there, buddy. Okay, Mister. I don't publish. Okay. Okay,
that may
Mister.
make you feel,
Mister. I was featured on Time Magazine.
I will make you feel better, Yang. I only did 25 this whole week.
Okay, so kiss my ass, Glenn. She's only done 25 the whole week.
And she has how many live?
It
1,000.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So you need to. What's going on over there, man? Is Gigi not giving up anything, man?
It was
you're
Valentine's Day. What do you mean not giving up? I've had a
I don't
record.
know. You got like a chip on your shoulder today,
You're
man. What's going
you're
on?
the single guy. I mean, I'm married. I mean, I can pretty much do whatever I want.
You're talking some crazy nonsense right now, dude.
Let me get some questions in for Kelly.
Oh, wow.
Well, fine. What's your question?
Okay. So, all right. So Kelly, before the course and
Spit
everything,
it out.
right? Before the course, how many do you have live? How many do you have live now?
Well, now I have roughly 6,000. Before the course, I was uploading maybe 40 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And I stopped uploading 40 a day probably like February of 2018. And I did try to do more quality, between February and the course. So at that time, I probably had like 4,500 to 5,000. So I really haven't put up, 1,000 is a good chunk, but I haven't put up tons and tons over the past year.
Okay. And did your numbers go up or down since the course?
Since the course, I really wasn't tracking since, 2017. I want to say it's about maintained.
Okay. So you don't think that, because a lot of people are probably going to say bringing more people into the platform, that things are going to get like flooded and stuff. But like you said, depends on the niche that you choose and go in more than anything.
Oh, it's absolutely the niche, because there were some people killing it for Valentine's Day. I don't know if you saw any of these, but it was some like raunchy gag gifts for Valentine's Day. In the book category, they were ranking like 1 in 2,000 in the paid store. And they
These
were
are just
just
journals.
blind. Yes. So, I mean, if you find the right niche, you can make bank. It's harder than it was, say, 12 to 18 months ago, but I still think there's room.
Would you say it's better than merch at this point?
Oh, heavens, yeah. I haven't uploaded or changed a price since mid-January. I'm sick of merch.
Well, see,
That's what we need to talk about.
well, hold on. See, I think that's that question there. You're gonna get a different answer depending on who you ask, right? For Kelly, she's gonna say it's better than merch because that's her bread and butter. That's where she makes the most.
Yeah.
Whereas if you ask maybe like RJ, he's gonna say, well, no, merch is better for him because that's where he make the most. So I think it really just depends on who you ask, right?
Yeah, for sure.
RJ's
So.
probably doing better on Etsy
Mhm.
at this point.
Well,
RJ's
well,
probably doing better on
he
Etsy.
has been growing his Etsy store, but we're not talking about RJ right now, okay?
You're the one who brought him up.
I'm just saying, man. You're the one that brought up his. Dude, what is wrong with you, man?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to talk to Kelly, man. You
Okay,
over
go
here.
ahead. Go ahead.
You got a chip on your shoulder today.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, boy.
So Kelly, um, do you? Okay, honest question. Okay,
Okay.
I mean, I want an honest answer. I'm sorry, but that is something that I wanted to talk to you about. Was do you feel that merch is saturated? Because look, at the end of the day, it seems like everyone is kind of migrating over to the whole KDP platform, which in my opinion, I don't think it's as popular as merch, but I do kind of get the sense that a lot of people are migrating there. I mean, we had Rob Cubbin on a few weeks ago. Obviously, we had you on the show, and you're back here today. And it seems like a lot of people are getting frustrated with merch. So now they're going to go try out the KDP platform. Do you think that's going to hurt us in the long run as far as sales and just being oversaturated? Kind of like how merch is, in my opinion, saturated?
I didn't leave. Well, I don't think I left merch. I'm taking a temporary hiatus till mid-April. I've been doing like a lot of reading, and a lot of the big people just in business focus on one main thing. And I'm
Sure.
like, okay, am I going to go all in on merch, or am I going to go all in on KDP? And I chose KDP because I feel like I still have a lot to do in that industry. I think it'd be crazy for me to give up KDP at this point and just go all in on merch. So that was my main reason for that. And I mean, your second half, were you mainly asking if KDP is going to be saturated just like merch?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, because the journal business itself is $1 million, if not $1 billion industry. I mean, you do have blank line journals, but you have like guest books and sketchbooks. You also have more low content books, such as like writing prompt journals. You have planners. You have so many things that people could do outside just the blank line journals. So KDP itself, will it ever be saturated? I don't think so. Could line journals? Potentially, but I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. I was just curious. Glenn, did you have any questions?
How long does it take for you to upload, let's say like 5 journals or something?
Oh, it depends what day you ask me. Earlier in the week, 10 journals took me an hour and a half because the system was being so slow. But this morning I uploaded 5 journals in maybe 20 minutes. So
Are you since we're talking uploading now, are you using any of those the Chrome extensions that kind of help speed up the
no,
process?
I'm not. It probably could save me some time, but I'm just so bullheaded in my ways. I just have this system down.
Okay.
So
So let me ask you. So then, when you upload, do you upload a particular niche as a group, or you just have whatever and you just upload them?
all as a group.
Okay. So everything's combined. So let me ask you then. So when you're uploading, and obviously I know this because I've done this now. Are you every time you have to pick and choose the categories and you have to type in the unique keywords every time?
If I don't know the category off the top of my head, I choose the non-classifiable one, because
Okay.
I don't, unless I'm going for a bestseller, I don't know how helpful it is to rank 90,568 in adult humor. You know, I don't know how beneficial that is to pick a category but not be in the top 100. So that's why I don't put too much emphasis on it. As far as the keywords, I have 2 monitors, so I just do copy paste
I got you.
from, you know,
Wait,
browser to
wait,
browser.
hold on. Where are you copying the keywords from then?
A previous one I do, like I open 10 to 20 tabs at a time, depending on how many
I
I'm
got
doing that day. And I have one screen and multiple tabs open side by side. So I just copy paste pretty easily.
Because I was telling Glenn, I have a system in place now. Now, granted, I do use a Chrome extension. I can't remember the name of it. If people are interested, message me. It is free now. I remember at one point they were charging for it. It is free. But I do have a system in place now where I can literally upload anywhere between 15 to 20 journals within an hour. Now I don't know. I
That's
don't know if
awesome.
I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. I don't know if my keywords are the best, but I do have a system in place where I can easily do about 15 to 20 in an hour.
That's awesome. That's a good pace. I'm old fashioned, you know. I
Okay,
don't think one way is the only way. So
sure,
yeah.
sure.
How can we get more attention? Like if Young's putting up 25 journals, how can he get more attention? Like is keywords gonna help, or title, or like author name, or like
Well, author name, they're starting to get picky about you can't keyword it too heavy. I've gotten rejected from that recently for trying to put too many
Wait.
keywords.
What is this? Explain.
Depending on it's, in my opinion, it's really subjective. KDP is still not perfect. So
Okay,
if you have what they think is misleading keywords in the author name, they may
I got
reject it.
you. I got you.
So, I mean, you can always fight back. I fought back and won. But
Mhm.
as far as getting seen, I think it's just like merch. I think it's, you know, are you choosing a good niche? Is your cover good? Um, Title is meh, but keywords as well. So I think it's a whole combination. I don't
Mhm.
put too much emphasis on the description. I keep the descriptions almost the same from upload to upload. I might change the first sentence.
Okay. Let me give you some of my numbers, and you tell me if they're good, if I can improve. But I have, last I counted, and that was last night, obviously, when I uploaded my last batch. I have around approximately 450 journals live now, and I'm doing, according to the KDP reports, I'm doing about approximately 75 to $100 a month.
You could definitely improve.
I can definitely improve.
Yeah.
So 450 journals live. Obviously, I'm not doing something up to par with what Kelly publishes doing.
Yeah,
I
and there's people out there I've learned that are doing way better than me.
Oh, I'm
But
sure,
I
sure.
I like to make about 80 cents to a dollar per journal I upload. So in your case, I think a good number would be whatever 80 cents for 450. So roughly 350 to 450 a month if you have 450 journals up.
I got you. Damn. So I'm doing something wrong.
I mean, but you're making sales,
I'm making
so
sales. No, I'm making sales, but again, um, I mean, I'm very confident in the artwork, so I'm not worried about that. And you both seen some of the stuff that I've done in the past as far as shirt designs. So I'm thinking maybe it's the niche, right?
it could be the niche, but like I said earlier, it's getting more and more competitive. So gotta cross niche or I personally don't go like adding journals to niches that I have a lot in. And that's something new to me. You know, I went back and edited some of my titles, and I was like, whoa, I have 200 journals in this one niche. That is excessive.
Mm,
So it might also be a name of the game now to try to do, you know, 5 journals in this niche, 5, and spread it out over many, many, many niches. It's all a trial and error type thing too.
right, right. So speaking of numbers, I know you're an open book. Sometimes, would you care to go over your numbers for this past December?
Uh, it's gonna be tough because I mean I am an open book. I will share. but KDP had a big mistake, so I might have to add a few things together.
Just give us a rough number.
I got to pull up my spreadsheet because I don't have it memorized.
Okay.
Just under 21,000.
Okay, just under 21,000. I don't know if you remember the conversation that we had right after Q4, and I know you were being really hard on yourself because Kelly had set a goal for herself to pretty much double what you did last December, correct?
1.5 times, yeah.
So she has set this goal and she didn't meet that goal. And I remember talking to you, or at least chatting with you online, and I know how disappointed you were. And I was like, Kelly, I'm like, what are you talking about? You made 21,000 freaking dollars in 1 month. That's more than what some people make in a whole year.
It's really crazy because when I started as an entrepreneur 5 years ago, I think I made maybe $10,000 in a year. So I know I should be happy, but I'm just a super competitive person. But looking back, you're so right.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I would cut off Glenn's left arm to do those kind of numbers.
See this one right here.
But so how are your numbers looking now? So you said you have about 6,000 live journals. Are you still doing about 5K a month? Has that number declined because of more people being on the KDP platform? Is it about the same?
Let's see. If you compare January to January from 2018 to 2019, I'm about $1,500 behind.
Oh.
So I don't really want to reminisce the past is the past. I'm just trying to focus on better niches and potentially more complex interiors. I don't think it's too fun to analyze numbers, so I just do the fun stuff, and that's the research and design.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I at one point, as you know, I've kind of moonlighted with making interiors, and that's something that I do want to do more of. But I've gotten into this mindset of wanting to upload as much as I can. And I know people have been asking me, man, are you gonna make some more interiors? And the question is, I do want to, but as a one man show, I'm just trying to really balance everything. And you know how it is, how
It's
crazy that can
so
get.
tough. That's why I've had to
Right.
drop a lot of things, merch being one of them. It's really hard. If you just focus on that one thing and put all your energy towards it, it'll
Hmm.
probably be more successful than, putting yourself in 5 different
Hmm.
baskets.
Well, Glenn, dude, why don't you get Gigi? And I'm being seriously here because Glenn just recently went full time. He's no longer working for the family, for the family business.
I've heard.
And I know Gigi's been helping out a lot with the eBay business, and but dude, this could be like a perfect opportunity for you to start uploading some journals, don't you think? Just have Gigi do about 10 a day, 20 a week, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yay or
I'd really
nay?
have to learn. I'd really have to go
Yeah.
through and learn the full process, but kind of like what Kelly is talking about, like really focusing down like on your craft. I mean, right now, I mean, she's just learned FBA, so she's like sending out stuff, and did like 100 items today or something. So I mean, could be something, but I also don't want it to be where like there's just too many things going on to where it's just like half-assing each of them. And so, which kind of leads me to the next question, which, like Kelly said, so you went away from the Facebook stuff, but I noticed that YouTube is still going strong. So you're still putting energy on that. And how has that been?
I am doing YouTube because I like the communication aspect of it, like the actual lives and talking. Well, talking to my screen, but it's kind of like talking to people. And a couple years ago, when I was just, doing none of that, I felt like I lost a lot of communication skills. So it's really, really important to me to keep my YouTube at least 1 video a week.
Mm-hmm. So way better than, I guess, like at least focusing energy on that more than like the groups and.
There was just a lot of negativity a few months ago, and I was like, I don't need to focus on this. So I've taken myself out of quite a few, and just put my mindset to more positive things.
No,
It's
I
been
agree.
helpful.
I agree. And running Facebook groups and all that. There's always going to be some noise at some point. But
Oh
even
yeah.
YouTube, even with the comments and stuff, how do you deal with that?
I've actually been really lucky with the comments. I haven't really gotten any trolls at all. My trolls come on the live shows. I
Mhm.
get, I don't know if it's the same person logging in, but I get them in batches of, I wouldn't say hatred comments, but let's say comments they would say to a female and not a male.
Oh, those sick bastards.
So I have a few mods that take care of it, but it doesn't stop me though. I still enjoy it, so it's fun.
You need Young in there as one of the mods.
Oh no, dude. You know what? If you get me in there as a mod, I'm one of those guys. I'll just start arguing with them.
Now the whole show changes. Like,
Oh
what's
yeah,
going on in the chat?
yeah. But the whole YouTube thing. Like I understand why people do it. Especially I guess if you want to call it work. In our line of work, as far as entrepreneurship or wanting to work for yourself, reseller. Like I understand the importance of doing it right. And I have people tell me all the time. Even Dell, obviously your husband tells me, man, why don't you do YouTube? And I've said this so many times. It's like for me, if I want to do YouTube, I would have to have someone there to talk to, because having a conversation by myself is so unnatural. Like I've tried in the past, and I swear, like making a 2-minute video where I'm just having a conversation to the camera, it took me like 50 takes. I'm not doing this anymore.
What about just lives like we're doing right now?
But like I said, I would have to have a conversation with someone like I would have to invite a guest, like Kelly would have to come on the show, or Glenn would have to come on the show, and it would have to be in that type of setting, because I just can't have a conversation by myself. It is the most awkward, the most silliest thing I've ever done.
I think that's totally cool because with YouTube, at least starting out, if not for a long time, AdSense don't pay the bills. And you
Hmm.
got to do it because you like it. So
Right.
if you don't enjoy it, don't.
Yeah, but I mean, but I like the podcast platform, because obviously every week I have Glenn to talk to,
Mm,
and then every now and then we have a guest, so yeah, so this is more natural, whereas
gotcha.
having like I don't know how, like Dale's a natural, right? Like I've watched his channel and I see him talking and stuff like that, and I'm like, man, this guy's a natural.
He did pro wrestling for so long doing promos. So
And
See,
he
that's,
did
see, that's the thing.
practice.
He's got good mic skills, right? Let me tell you something, brother. I will rip your arms out. I will kick you in the nuts. See, he's got good mic skills.
I think it takes practice, though. No one's perfect the first time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Let me ask you both. We're kind of getting all over the place now with the show. Were you guys pretty nervous, like doing the lives and just doing YouTube in general
Big
in
time.
in the, in the beginning?
In the very beginning, I was like, man, I sound stupid. I look stupid. No way I'm going to continue doing this. And so,
Oh
like,
my
the first 10
gosh.
videos, my face wasn't even shown. It was just like my voice.
I don't get nervous for the lives because I enjoy, the interaction with kind of like my screen, but the comments. But definitely the pre-tape videos at first. I didn't even want to edit them because I didn't want to hear the sound of my own voice.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
But it
Well, I
gets
don't, I
better.
don't, I don't I don't think a young YouTube channel is going to come anytime soon. I'm just saying, for me, this is more of a natural setting, doing the podcast and having conversations with other people.
You got to
Yeah.
do what works for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let
absolutely.
me go back to merch a little bit, but I have a good question. I mean, you just said it's like a little hiatus. It's gonna come back. You said
Mhm.
around April, right?
Yeah, April 15th. I have it on my calendar.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she has a state and everything.
what would be your strategy to then when you do come back in April? Like, how are you gonna attack merch now that you kind of put it aside?
It's on potential permanent hiatus. I just wanted to take On January 15th, I was like, what am I going to choose? So I was like, okay, let's give KDP it 90 days, only do that, well, YouTube too, and see if I really miss merch not doing it for 90 days. So when April 15th comes, I'm going to go back. I've logged into my account because I'm curious if I still get sales, but I'm going to be like, okay, is this something I still enjoy? You know, how's my KDP? So I would say April 15th is more of a reevaluation day as opposed to an upload day, if that makes sense. Because I was also curious because you guys had that episode, I think it was last year, if merch is passive. So it was also an experiment for myself, be like, okay, if I don't upload or change a price, is my income going to go down, stay the same? I knew it wouldn't go up, but yeah, so I was tempted to take a full year off, but I was like, okay, that's a little extreme. So I was like, okay, let's do 90 days.
Yeah. No, it definitely isn't passive. I mean, I remember doing that show, like it was yesterday. I mean, we talked about how the first few months might be passive, but then the terms and everything start. It's going to change at some point. Then you're going to have a bunch of copycats come in, and there's just so many things that can happen. It can end up being passive for the first 3 or 4 months, but absolutely things are going to change, and you're going to see a huge drop off eventually.
Luckily, last month I got in on a good holiday, and I made some good sales, but this month is pretty rough so far.
Well, how was merch for you in December?
It was pretty good. Let me pull up my spreadsheet again.
She better not have done better than us, yeah. We're just gonna have to
Dude,
end this show real quick.
How organized she is that she has a spreadsheet.
I don't have the UK converted, so this is a rough estimate. Let's see. US was 24.56.54. UK was 48.66. Euro was 30.32. So roughly, I estimated like $2,600, $2,550 to $2,600.
And what tier you on?
6,000.
Nice.
Were you short on the payout?
I don't even pay attention.
Well, this is just extra money coming in. It doesn't even matter at this point.
It's really bad. I just did a total deposit. I don't compare them because I'm like, that's a waste of time. It probably is not a waste of time, but it's just something I don't do.
Okay. But okay, so what are some things that you're working on? I know you said you're kind of going back to the basics, but I heard you might be getting into audiobooks, that you might be hiring some ghostwriters again. Is that true? What are some things, some projects that Kelli Publish is working on here?
Well, let's start with the audiobooks. The first week in January, I started it full time. And I was like, okay, let's see if I enjoy it. Because that's most importantly, I always tell people, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. There's so many different things you can get yourself into. After a week of trying it full time, like the audiobooks, hiring ghostwriters, I was like, this is awful. I'm like, no. So I told myself, just to diversify income just a little bit, I'm going to hire most of it out, ghostwriting, editing, recording. So it's not really, I'm not touching it much, but I'm going to do one a quarter just to build something up. But as far as the journals, I'm trying to balance the lines and maybe do some more low content. I have so many freaking ideas. I love research so much, but my bad habit is just researching and not following through. So that's my main thing right now, just trying to see if my idea I had 6 months ago would still work. And if so, try to capitalize and make a cover and stuff.
Well, let me ask you, is there anything that the community can benefit from, as far as, because essentially you're an influencer these days, whether you want to admit it or not, you are. You obviously had the course last year, which I know for a fact helped a lot of people. It helped us. Well, at least it helped me get started with my whole KDP journey. Anything for the community that we can look forward to, as far as maybe like another course? I don't know. I'm just asking. Is there anything
As of right now, I don't plan on it. I just really enjoy, being creative and doing my own projects. And the main reason I took the course down is because I missed uploading. I missed designing. I'm not the greatest designer in the world by any means, but I just enjoy it. And I felt like if I always tell people to do what they enjoy, but if I kept the course up and didn't do what I enjoyed, it would just be two-faced. So that's also why I just don't plan on it. I would rather design on my own, share with people on my YouTube channel, and share other people's products. If, and this is a big if, I would use it myself.
Sure.
I don't want to just be an affiliate marketer and capitalize on every product out there. I'm pretty strict on what I refer people to.
No,
So
absolutely.
as
Yeah.
of right now, that's the plan.
hmm
Who knows? Things can change. I mean, I change my mind a lot, but I'm really trying hard to stick to that.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
No.
So, are you gonna come out to? I'm almost positive that there's gonna be another Merch by Amazon conference in September. Any chance you and Dale gonna go again this year?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
I'm not for certain. Because last year we did a lot of traveling and it really burnt both of us out, and it took a while for me to recover.
Where is Dale, by the way? Is he there?
He's over at his brother's house.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And how far is that?
Like 15, 20 minutes down the street.
Oh, okay. So you guys are practically neighbors.
Pretty much, but enough distance. No, he's a nice person, but that came out way too wrong.
Oh.
Cut that out.
Okay.
We'll redo the whole episode.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kelly, thanks so much for being on the show. It's always fun talking with you. I know we talk on a regular basis behind the scenes, but it's always good to catch up and then let the listeners and the viewers know what you're up to as well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always good to catch up.
So
Yeah,
we gotta publish on
absolutely.
YouTube. Go right now if you're watching and or listening to this.
Yes, subscribe. I do lives at least twice a month.
Great show, Glenn. I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know if Gigi slapped you around, but you had a little chip on your shoulder today.
Chip
Huh?
on my shoulder for like the last 5 episodes. What's been
Huh?
going on? And you know what? I'm
Well,
starting the new year with my chip on my shoulder. I'm
what's
starting
going
out the
on
new
here, huh? What's going on?
year.
Is
I have
everything
no
okay?
clue. I have no clue what's going
Huh?
on.
Do we need
Just
to
want
call
to add some,
Do we need
add
to
some
call Dr. Phil?
entertainment to the podcast.
Do we need to call Dr. Phil?
We should have him on the show.
We should have him on the show because clearly you got some issues.
Ask Dr. Phil if he would do merch.
But no, great show, man. As always, Kelly's just a great person. I love talking to her.
Yeah, we'll have her on again soon too.
Yeah, I just, you know what, man, she's just a good person, man. Ever since I got to know her, we got to know her. She's been a good friend, and I just love her sense of humor. I mean, how can you not have that sense of humor when you're married to Dell?
And
That
dude's
guy's a nut
hilarious.
job. I mean that in a very positive way. I love Dell. But great guest. Anything before we leave?
One more thing before we leave.
Sure.
So on merch, you went to I forgot which one you went to that they were talking about. Oh, it was Vegas. How they had a Shane Dawson. Remember your boy Shane Dawson?
Uh-huh.
And so he's been in the news recently because
What?
Because he had this conspiracy theory that Chuck E. Cheese pizza, they recycle like older pizzas to remake new pizzas and give them out to guests. Have you been to Chuck E. Cheese in a while?
I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese since I was like 12.
All right, you should check the video out with conspiracy theories on like recycling pizzas that customers leave behind to form a new pizza to give out to a new customer. So it was pretty hilarious. But yeah, check that out since
I'm
you
not
watch
watching that.
Shane Dawson so
No, I'm not watching that.
All right, then to next episode, do we have a guest for the next one?
We're working on it.
Okay.
We'll figure something out, but
Okay.
definitely we'll be back next week.
Okay, sounds good. See ya.